And Tori, right now you are pregnant.
Yeah, I'm 3 months.
How many week right now?
14.
14 weeks already. But you are homeless now.
Yeah, I've been homeless for a little bit now. Just trying to stay where I can stay. I'm on a $500 bail on my own. I bailed myself out of jail. I'm on 2 years of probation and 7 charges. And I do not want to go back to jail, but some days it's a roof, it's meals, It's very hard feeling like you don't have your own things to feel included. And when sometimes all I'm going to say is that these times have really shown me who's there when you are in no matter what. Whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you have money, you know? It's shown me a lot of things. And I'm not scared though to go back to jail. I am not. But that's not something I want to do with a baby. But at the same time, the streets have pushed me mentally pretty far. And not having the structure and not having my own home. I work with a lot of services too. And not having my own place to go. And carrying my own more than my own body weight is intense. It's it's a lot for us all out here in this community to be able to be like, yeah, let's pick ourselves up after barely eating anything all day, having lots of anxiety, just trying to make calls and you get to run around, yeah, go here, go there, and by the end of the day, you're worried that how am I gonna eat? I don't know how I'm gonna make it. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? And you feel sometimes that you can't just show up to a place if you don't have that. You know? Uh, there's very few people. Well, luckily, this baby I'm having, I've known him for a long time. Sometimes I wish we didn't cross that boundary. We just stayed friends, but that's okay. He's known you very well. And, we have our differences, but sometimes, but he's always been someone I look up to for a friend, either way. And, I know all his brothers. And, it's with a tight community. He's from Aurelia, and, so we have that tight. I guess it's maybe the creator's way of saying, hey, there's a different future. I didn't expect to have a baby in this situation. I didn't expect my life to turn out this way. It's just me. I'm life of the party. I like the party, alright. But I will always show up for my daughter. Always, no matter what. CS will tell you that. CS is actually supporting me. They're going to buy me a stroller and car seat. And I've been going to my appointments, taking my vitamin. And I want women to know how much that vitamin is essential in today. It's very essential in these situations that we are in. And, I guess I haven't always experienced, relationship abuse. There's abuse other ways in life besides drugs. There's, landlords that get us on our feet, and then they tear us down. There's tons of coolness, abuse in the world, but where is the love, as that song says, We only got one sometimes. And maybe two in a day. And I would say, don't cry over spilled milk. And I'm going to tell you another day, I was at the camp over here. And officers came up to me and interrogated us. Me especially. They were like, don't talk so loud, and I think you did this, But when we need them in society, they're not there out here. They tear us down. They tear us home. They tear it away. And they think that's going to help the population out here. That's going to help all these places trying to help us. It's really not. The mentality that is creating more and more worse mentalities. And more structure problems than anything. And my grandma will tell you that it is over 500 people homeless here. And we are the city that gets out of jail. This is where we go. And it's not our fault. all the time. And I believe everybody deserves a chance out there in the world, no matter what. Yeah. But if you mess with my children and my family, then it's a different story. I have people that I care for.
Sorry. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Innisfil, in public school, and I stayed there until grade 8.
Sorry, say it again. Where?
I grew up in Innisfil,
Innisfil.
just outside of Lookout Corner. It's now where all my family is, and my grandma, we built her house there, and she still lives there. And I went to public school and everything, and I remember it being just a small town with a simple grocery store, a high school, and now it's got like everything in there. And when I go down there to the beaches, it's still like home. I feel like I'm just a kid with my grandma just walking around. Yeah.
You grew up with your grandma?
I grew up a lot with my grandparents.
Okay. Do you have both of your parents when you grew up?
I didn't. I had my birth mom until I was 4 years old.
Okay.
And then I didn't have her anymore. Like, she is now, I was adopted, I was crown board, and this is most of my life. My mom was an alcoholic.
You got adopted by the system when you were 4?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a group home? Or?
No, I was a very troubled kid. I had lots of, like, learning problems, lots of things where, like, I didn't fit in all the time. And people didn't really understand how to be. My mom and dad have 2 of their own businesses. My adopted parents sold to me. Money's greed. And it's hurt me a lot not knowing my mom. But I do know she's out there. I was born in Barrie, Ontario. And I do know my mom's last name, and I've learned a little bit about her footsteps. And my grandma used to volunteer here, and she still does at the Literacy Council. And she's made a big impact. You know, those who I had to look up to, that's where I learned my old school from, and that's where I learned to always give and never respect. Always things back sometimes. I always felt like a black sheep of my family. Me and my brother and sister are adopted. My brother was adopted at 6 months, and my sister was adopted at birth, and they were both born here.
Is there any abuse during your childhood?
Yes.
What kind of abuse?
My mom, one was a stripper here. She would drink like a 60 a day, if not more. And she had tons of people watching me, strangers, all kinds, because she would come in and out all the time. And I definitely, she tried for me really hard, but addiction had run in her family. Her mom had schizophrenia, and which can pass generations. I was blessed to not get that, but it's my mom. It wasn't her. I don't I don't frown upon her for that. She was just trying to make it by. They didn't know the things that they didn't have, and I was actually born with FAS. But I call that faith, ability, determination, and strength. Because a lot of my friends have worse, and I would say like each of those count each day. Sometimes even if you don't want to, you still got to. And my mom, I just found out like about her heritage, and I'm Italian and Native, and I was as I said, I was adopted at 4, and then when I was 16, I was put back into the system. My mom and dad didn't know what to do with me, so I ended up in a new town. I didn't know a single soul, not one person. 16 in a new place. Not knowing a school. Not knowing anyone. Not having anybody. I was just put somewhere with this random family. And by the time I was 4, I was in 14 foster homes. And I tell you that whole separation anxiety is enough to, mental health or not, is to make somebody have attachment the rest of their life, you know? And I don't look at that as like a downfall, because it made me stronger, and I would say. But it's,
You have a napkin
yeah,
over there?
thank you. But there's, I don't really know if I, like, believe it, because, like, being in the system, foster care can twist things, but, like, I told her, like, there was, like, sexual abuse because of that lifestyle my mom is into.
Sexual abuse?
And I don't know who, because, as I said, she left me with lots of people.
So, starting from what age?
Like, pretty much, like, when she could bring me home.
When you were 4 years old?
From birth till 4, pretty much. She was in and out, you know. She'd go for, like, months, see me, and then not see me again.
Okay. You sexual abuse by strangers?
Yeah.
Okay, but what do you remember?
I don't remember. I was so young.
Okay, but how do you know?
Just in papers, as I said. But
In the system papers says you were sexual abused?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I don't really know, because being adopted myself, I don't really, seeing the situation I've been in with my own daughter, I'm not really too sure, like, they switch the words, you know, because they can make your situation look a lot worse.
Okay.
It's very hard. I didn't trust my parents. I remember when they went to adopt me, I was so scared of trusting anybody that I literally peed everywhere, all over the car, because I was so scared to be around anyone.
Your first daughter, right?
Yeah, I had my first daughter at 21.
21?
And she's been a big blessing to me. She's a mini-me, and she's definitely given me, like, some crazy insight to things. And she always is smiling and happy kid. Nothing wrong with her, so I'm very blessed. Like, she's loves school. She's in dance, swimming, hockey. She's very photogenic. Actually, her dream is to be an artist. And right now, and she's always something that I wanted to be, and I always I wanted to be something that I never had. And I always want to be a parent that she could always come to, that I couldn't go to like mine. You know, and I could tell her, like, sure, I may not agree with everything she does, but I want to know that I love her, and, you know, no matter what. I was with her father for 7 years.
That's, you guys live on Collier Street?
No. I lived in Aurelia when I had my daughter.
Okay. 7 years old relationship, right?
Yeah.
How do you describe that relationship?
Very toxic.
Okay.
Extremely, like, I don't know how I stayed with him that long. To put it in nice terms on this sunny day, I honestly don't know how. I guess I like his family, you know. This is why I have the cancer ribbon. My daughter's grandpa passed away of brain cancer, and my daughter never got to spend time with him. But his family was his dad was inspiration, because he'd go to work even with cancer, and we had some very toxic thing, as I said. That's why I don't have my daughter now.
Okay. Toxic how?
Toxic is like physical, like, and he also has another daughter that's older than my brother, and doesn't really want to see him. And I guess when you're with someone, you don't see the things, and whether it's like good or bad, I guess, all the time. And he's had a very rough upbringing, and he has schizophrenia, which I'm blessed so far that my daughter did not get, because, as I said, that can pass generations and skip them. So Yeah, we're not really on speaking terms anymore. He's the only person that ever put me in jail, and my daughter knows that.
Put you into jail?
Yeah,
For how long?
I was in there 5 months and 7 months.
5 months and 7 months?
Yeah, I was in 3 jails.
Okay. Tell me the first time you into jail, so how do you feel?
The first time I went to jail, I'll be stirred up that it was hard. It was intimidating. It was like anybody else. Who are these people? I'm going to be cornered in here. I can't get away. You know how's it going to be? It's like a street, but you're cornered in. And, but I made it. You made it. Now, I wasn't expected to be there that long. But, I'm lucky because I had a good lawyer at the time. And, yeah, it's, not a place I say we all want freedom, that's for sure. I definitely would not be happy with things that I've done, but it all comes down to protecting what I love and people I love, and whether people choose to see it that way or not, that's what it is. Feel that freedom. You go out, you can only see the sky, you know? And sometimes, though, when I went to jail, I was on 7 drugs before I went in a day. And that's how I got clean off them, was jail. So in a way, it did straighten my life out for the better.
First time you used drugs?
I would have been young. I would have been 14.
14?
Yeah.
In the foster home?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of drugs did you use at that time?
I've done everything but down and needles. I was really into opiates, actually. I've done Tina, Molly. I was really big into Molly and the Coke when I was that young.
Who gave to you that you were 14?
I honestly can't remember because I've always been like a wild one. So that's my name in two cities. So I honestly don't know. Like, probably everything. I've always been a big adventurous, you know? Like, ooh, what can we do? What can we try? Like, you know? Never been one of those followers at a party. I was like, hey, let's do it myself. I'll do it first, you know? Let's try this out. See how it goes. So, yeah, I guess Molly, like, the things that the drugs now is, like, the mixing is scary. I mean, when people do the mixing, like, the down and uppers, I've saved so many people. I've narcaned so many lives. I've never had to be narcaned in my life, but that's the drug. That's the potent and the carfentanil that I've never, you know, I've even done K too. So, it's I've had my adventure of that. That's for sure. And then a little bit ago, I got back into it because I haven't seen my daughter, and so life kind of took a turn for me a little bit. But I always get back up, and I always say I do it for my daughter and my grandma. That's what. I had a $1,200 apartment. I got legally evicted from it. And the landlord changed my lock in less than 24 hours. I lost everything I own. My cat, all my daughter's pictures. I worked really hard. I was in jail and before that, and I didn't have a home. And it was the nicest home I'd ever had since I've lived it by myself. And I had it good in there. I had, like, you know, a nice place, quiet. My daughter was supposed to come there for visits. And then it never happened because unless I went too early for her appointment. And I couldn't get back in, and it was a snowstorm. And I got picked up for hitchhiking that day. The cops drove me home. They told me, tell me where you live. Are you going to go to jail for breaching your condition? It was a snowstorm. Because I was determined to get home for a job that I was supposed to start. And it would have been more than making assistance. It would have been over $2,000 every 2 weeks. And I shared that apartment with someone I was with. But we went our own ways. We still talk. But rent was very expensive there. And so either way, it would have been hard to afford on my own. But I would have figured it out. But she didn't give me the time to figure it out. And the only reason I've been stuck in this cycle so long also as well is because I ended up trying to get another place. I got last month's rent. And I saved for that. And then it got taken from me. And I never got another spot to live. And at go times, I'm pretty close to death myself. Not by drugs. But I had 3rd-degree burn here at the campsites. My hand went septic. Really bad. And I've had, the streets have, here been pretty hard to survive. But we all make it. We're soldiers. That's what I say. Yeah. So, yeah, and I've lost a lot of friends, and this has been the longest, I haven't seen my daughter. My mom and my sister attacked me in a parking lot on Christmas with my daughter. So I've kind of been really down and depressed for a while. Because here I am trying to see my siblings, trying to stay connected with everything and other places. And my parents just shattered it all. Yeah. And they haven't been willing to do visits with me properly. My mom has always been really mentally abusive to me, my adopted mom. We never got along. CS actually came to find me in jail 3 times for her because they get concerned about her. But I'm working on it and trying to find a home like everyone else. It's a lot in this world, 1 or 2 jobs. It's very challenging from where I first moved out on my own. You could find a place that was reasonable now. You're either stuck in the ropes of a expensive place or you get a dump, and there's no in between. And we all suffer from something out there, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, And my whole family's grown up with money, all of them, every single last one. And it's been really hard to accept that, because they always think that they're better than me. They have money, how they've always been taught that if you didn't have money, then you're no good, kind of. So, yeah, I want to say there's help out there, though, for anybody. If you want to get help, you can find it.